Hey, my name's James Nicholson and welcome to my YouTube channel. Now, this channel is all about my investment journey. I'm currently building a portfolio for myself and you can follow along on all the good, the bad and the ugly on that. As well as that, I'm building a portfolio for my two daughters, Georgia, who's 21. We've just completed our first deal, just about to complete our second, and my new baby, Emily, who is just 1. Now, how can you follow along on the journey and see the good, the bad and the ugly? Very easy. Take that finger of power, spin it around and smash that subscribe button over there and hit the bell notification so you get notified of all the new content. Well, you want to know about buy-to-let basics, right? That's why you've clicked on this video, and I'm just sitting here at the moment waiting for my Teslas to charge over there before I head back to the UK after a beautiful week in the south of France in Carcassonne. So buy-to-let basics is something that you want to know before you jump in headfirst into property investment. And maybe you've got a little bit of cash that you've saved up, or you're working towards that, and you just really want to know, should you be buying stocks and shares? Should you be buying cryptocurrency? Because a lot of people made a lot of money in that in 2019 and 2020 and 2021. Or should you be investing in property? Well, crypto, I think, is a great thing, and you should potentially have some in that, but no more than 10% of your net worth. It needs to be money that you can afford to lose, because as we've seen in the last few weeks, people's investments have literally got wiped out. One of the top 10 coins went to zero, Bitcoins crashed, and lots of the others have done particularly bad as well. Now, maybe when you watch this video, they've come back, but the point is there's high volatility there. It means you can make a lot of money if you pick the right coin, but you can also lose your money very, very fast too. That's not great, right? So just have money in there that you're willing to lose. So real investments, because cryptocurrency is really speculative, but real investments that you've got are the stock market, and on average that doubles your money every 10 years. Or you can look at property. So let's say that we've got £25,000 to invest. So what could we do with that money? Let's look at the stock market first. So if we wanted to invest £25,000 into the stock market and we bought an index tracker, it's very important with stocks and shares that you don't pick individual shares. You just buy the whole market, because the market normally doubles in 10 years. So if you put 25 grand in, then I'm confident that 10 years from now that you would have £50,000 or there enough, right? So you'd have doubled your money. What a great result that is. Way better than your money sitting in the bank. So is that a good investment? Yes, very, very good investment. Now, let's look at property. So property is actually incredibly powerful because your money is significantly leveraged. So if you were to invest £25,000 in property, that would allow you to buy a house that's worth £100,000 on a buy-to-let mortgage, because you need a 25% deposit. So the house worth 100, you need to put 25 grand in as your deposit. Right, brilliant. Okay, so you're going to buy that house on a buy-to-let mortgage, and what's going to happen over 10 years, on average, since 1066, every 10 years, house prices have doubled in price. Now, let's look at this. That house is now worth £200,000. So your net worth is actually £125,000 this time, because you still, on a buy-to-let mortgage, you'd have paid only interest, so you wouldn't have paid the loan down, or you could put it on a repayment. But let's just say you've not paid any of the loan down, and you've now got £100,000 in extra equity. Now, you've also got that initial 25 grand you put in that hasn't gone anywhere. It still sits in that property. So your net worth is now 125 grand. If you were to sell that property, you would have £125,000, which is pretty crazy. Now that's 5 times your money rather than doubling your money. And that's because of leverage. And that's why property is such a great investment, because you can leverage your money by using mortgages. And that's a very, very powerful thing. Now, also with property in that time, you can't even get a mortgage unless you're going to make profit on the rent. They're not going to lend it to you. So they're only going to lend money on deals that stack up, and they're going to be very conscious of that. They're going to help you with that to make sure you've got a good deal there. So what it means is that, let's just say on a 100 grand property, it was £600 rent, and costs for mortgage, insurance, solicitors, estate agents, all that stuff came to around 300 a month. You keep 300, right? So that's £3,600 per year. Then in 10 years, that's £36,000 on top of the money. Now you've made 6 times your money and a little bit more as well. So property and buy-to-let is a very, very good thing. Now, how do you get into it? Well, first, you need to look at areas. So if you want to invest in the south of England, you would be looking at properties that maybe the rental profits aren't as high. So rents comparatively to the value of a house are lower in the south of England, but there's more capital appreciation, meaning maybe it goes up more than double in that time. So maybe your house more than doubles in 10 years. And that's happened to me in the south of England. In 20 years, my property went up 5 times. Bought it for 45, now worth 250 in 20 years, right? So that's very, very powerful. So your capital appreciation is going to be higher. Now in the north, you will find very cheap houses. I've just bought one for £60,000 for a 2-bedroom house. Tons of those available on Rightmove or auctions and various different ways. And I help people understand how to attract investors and get stuff like that sorted. But you can buy loads of different houses for 100 grand up north, or 60 grand or 50 grand, 40 grand. There's tons of them up there. Now, they might not go up as fast in value, but you will make more money on your rent. And so you might have a tiny little mortgage, maybe that's £100 a month, and get 600 in rent, meaning you're going to make more profit on your rental. And so wherever you invest, that's what's important to understand, is maybe you look at your area first and see if there's any way you can invest in your area. But don't be afraid to branch out and look up north. It's not as big a country as we think. It's quite easy to get up north or down south or in the southwest. There's tons of different options around. So up north, you will make a higher yield. You will make more profit on your rent. Down south, you will make more capital appreciation. Or if you want a middle balance on that, then invest in the Midlands. So in the Midlands, the house prices don't go up as much as the south, but they go up more than the north. But you get slightly less rent than you do you get more similar rent to the north, but your yield will be lower, right? So when you're looking for property and you want to get a buy-to-let, first process is to find some deals so you can start calling agents in an area that you want to invest in. I've made a video on the channel here about the hotspots for buy-to-let, so do go and check those out. But yeah, you'll identify some key areas where you want to invest. Then you will view some properties. Then I would start looking at getting a mortgage broker. So before you've even got a deal, it's worth having a chat with a mortgage broker and get pre-approved for a certain amount of money. That's going to be very useful for you guys to do. So if you do that, then you know that the lenders will lend me 50 grand, for example. You don't even need to earn hardly anything. Minimum wage would probably be enough to get you a 50 grand mortgage. And so by doing that, you can be pre-approved. Deposits is another thing, right? Maybe you don't have a deposit. Maybe your parents could gift you a deposit, right? And then you pay them back out of the rental income that you got. There's tons of different ways to do this stuff. So you'll find a deal, you'll find a mortgage broker, which you can find online. I prefer to recommend people to find their own local broker. I think it's good to meet people and support local businesses. And then, yeah, start pushing it forward and getting some deals. There are lots of other strategies that you can use, but a simple buy-to-let that we're talking about here is fairly basic. It's all about getting 25% deposit. That could be yours money, that could be an investor's money, it could be your friends and family's money. Then it's all about finding a deal, getting the broker to push it over the line and getting it done. And the scariest part of all of this is just taking that leap of faith, taking that action and doing something, right? A lot of us procrastinate, we put it off, we think we'll do it next time. tell you what, if you leave it too long, then it gets more expensive, right? And so the prices are constantly going up in property. They will continue to go up because there is a shortage of properties in the UK. You can check this stuff all out online. The government needs to build 300,000 houses per year. We're currently building 150. So there's a big surplus of houses there that we need just for the people that we've already got. Obviously, more people are coming into the country, people are having babies, there's all sorts of stuff going on that is just making it really, really like rises like we've never seen before. And so property investment is, as they say, safe as houses. My suggestion to you is to find a channel like this, binge watch, subscribe to this channel, guys, like this video here if you found this useful at all, comment with any questions you've got. I always make videos around your questions. There are no stupid questions. Everyone starts somewhere, and just get involved. Just start getting involved. A great place to get involved is in our Property Accelerator community. It's a free Facebook group. You can just sit in there and learn some stuff and ask questions, and I'll personally reply to all of those. So if you want to join that, there's a link in the description. I better go. I'm going to go and catch my ferry fairly shortly, but do go and check out this video right here. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.